Hey, what's up everybody, it's Amaya. So today's video is going to be a declutter video. I'm going to be decluttering my makeup palette drawer today. As you guys know, or maybe some of you don't, for those of you that don't know, I have a drawer where I keep a lot of my makeup palettes, and then I have a top shelf area where I keep either my favorite makeup palettes or ones that I really want to be using, that sort of thing. So that I'm not going to be touching today. I did just reorganize it, so that is pretty good. We are going to be going over the drawer where I keep the rest of my eyeshadow palettes, and I did get rid of quite a bit. I went through this, and at first it looks like I'm not going to get rid of a lot, but then I actually ended up getting rid of a lot more than I even thought. So yeah, I'm really excited. I haven't done a declutter in quite a while, and I felt like it was time. And this kind of made me want to declutter a lot of other areas of my makeup because, like I said, I haven't done that in quite a bit. So maybe we'll be doing some more. If you guys like declutter videos, please let me know. But yeah, we're going to be doing that today, and that's pretty much it. So before we get into it, be sure to check out my Instagram and Twitter. They'll be right over here, I think. I don't know, this is my normal setup. Right over here, right over here. They'll be over here, one of these sides. Check them out if you wanna. If not, no pressure whatsoever. Check them out if you'd like. And yeah, let's hop right into the video.
Okay, so this right here is my palette drawer. But we're just gonna start with these guys right here. These are my three Juvia's Place palettes. So I have the mini Nubian, which I absolutely love, so definitely keeping this. I have the Saharan, which I also super duper love. This is just a really nice palette, and the shimmers in here are stunning, so definitely keeping this. And then of course the same thing with the Warrior palette. Okay, we also have these two ColourPop palettes right here. We have the Yes Please palette, which I absolutely love, and I don't use nearly enough. Definitely want to keep this. I'm probably going to move that up to my desk. And Give It To Me Straight palette. Oh, so beautiful as well. And Up Front and Straight Up are so beautiful mixed together. So excellent palette, and I really love it. I apologize if I'm sniffing a ton or if I sound stuffy. I had a very emotional night last night. You know, sometimes you just have nights where you gotta cry. And I cried this morning too, and then now I have allergies or something, I'm not sure. All right, next we have this Pure Festival palette. I just got this in a BoxyCharm. Sorry, I don't want to blind you with the mirror. But these glitters in here are perfection. I love them so much. They are so pretty. And the rest of the palette is really nice too, so definitely keeping this. Okay, next we have the James Charles and Morphe palette. In light of everything that's happened with James Charles and everything like that, you still can't deny that he does have a really artistic, creative side to him, and he really is a talented artist. And, you know, I really do love this palette. He created a good product, so I'm not going to get rid of something just because of an issue that's going on. I'm not hopping on the cancel bandwagon, so keeping this. Okay, Urban Decay Naked Heat. This is what this guy looks like, and this was kind of a disappointing palette for me. I honestly did not love this as much as I thought I would, and it's very similarly toned. Not very much variety in this palette, but it is still pretty, and I like using it, and again, it's newer to my collection, so keeping it. Oh my god, this is a blast from the past. This is my Carly Bible palette. I used to use this palette all the time, but I just hardly ever use this anymore. I honestly don't even think I've used it in like a year. So for that reason, this palette is going to be leaving my collection. I think one of my sisters will really enjoy using this, again, because it's a very easy to use palette with some nice highlighters and shimmers and all sorts of fun stuff in there, and I got a lot of use out of it. So going to pass this along. Okay, next we have this Winky Lux Kitten palette. This is what it looks like. I really was into this for a hot minute after I got it in my BoxyCharm, and it's a pretty palette. It has some unique shades in it. You can create like neutral looks with it, and you can also create some fun looks with it. And I kind of want to get more use out of it, so I'm going to be keeping this. My Persona Identity palette. This is what it looks like. I've never been a huge fan of this palette. I feel like the shadows in here are very soft and very dark, so I've had some issues with this palette. I don't always love how it looks, but for some reason I don't want to get rid of it. I just want to keep trying it and trying to love it because I was so excited to get it, and so I had so many high hopes for it. So I'm definitely going to move it up, I think, to my top shelf and see if I can get some more use out of it, just purely remembering that it's there. Okay, next we have Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I wanted this palette for so long. Really since it like came out and became popular, I've wanted this palette, and then I finally got it this past year, and then right after that all the Kat Von D stuff kind of went down. But like I said, I'm trying to separate people from products, and I really like this eyeshadow palette a lot. Even though it's Kat Von D, I am definitely not getting rid of this. We have the Alamar Cosmetics Reina del Caribe palette, and yes, this is so pretty. I love using this in the summer. You can just create so many fun looks. I love all of these shades in here. They're just so pretty, and yeah, I'm definitely keeping this one. This right here is just a bunch of like colorful Morphe and Ofra shadows, just like mixed match shadows. So I kind of use them for like crap shadows, I guess, if I ever need anything. So I'm probably gonna keep them, but not for too much longer because I don't ever use them on my eyes. I just kind of keep them for like fun play purposes. Okay, this is the Crown Pro palette. I'm not even sure what this is called because there is no name on it, but it really looks so similar to the Naked Heat palette. I used this in a video because I got it in a BoxyCharm, and it was pretty, but like I said, it's literally the dupe for the Naked Heat palette. I have not reached for it since that video. I just haven't really had a desire to. I didn't love it enough to do so, so I think I'm going to pass this one along. Ugh, this one is so sad. This is my Huda Beauty Smoky Obsessions palette, and you guys look. I just opened this palette one day, and those two shadows were shattered. This one was one of my favorites. It makes me really upset because I love this palette so much, but I'm going to keep it because I love all of the matte shades in here and the other shimmers that did survive. I don't really know what happened to these ones. I didn't drop it. I didn't do anything to it. They just shattered. They're very soft shadows, so maybe that has something to do with it, but regardless of that, I'm going to keep it and try to use it more because I love it, and it's a really nice smoky palette. We have my Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette. This was the original. Do you guys even remember this? Some of you probably don't, but this was like the original Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette. She went through and picked out a bunch of Morphe single shadows and put them in a palette. She didn't even create these shades. It was just kind of like her picks, but it was kind of my first like real palette that I got. I just get so happy when I see it, and so I'm probably going to keep this until it like gets moldy and gross, honestly, because I just, even if I don't use it, I love it, and I love supporting Jaclyn, and I feel like not many people have this palette, and I just really like it. Okay, we have 35OM, and I believe right here we have 35OS. Here these guys are, and I will forever keep these until they go bad because they are amazing. This 35OS is like a makeup artist's dream because you have all of these beautiful shimmer shades, and most of them are pretty like neutral or warm, which is what most people want. And the same thing with the 35OM. Even though I have a lot of matte palettes now, this just has so many shades in it that I can literally reach for this and not have to reach for like any other palettes. You really have a little bit of everything in this palette. This is a Deuce eyeshadow palette right here. I think I got this for like a thank you for signing up for a Allure beauty box or something like that. They're magnetic shadows. They actually like pop in and out of here. I got it like probably a year ago maybe, and I've never used it. But the shadows in here look pretty, so I'm going to try it out, and if I don't like it, I'll pass it along. Okay, we have two of these Morphe like 15 color palettes here. We have the 15N, and this one is the 15H. Again, try not to blind you guys with the mirror. I love both of these. The 15N is really pretty. It has some nice cool tones in here. It's really nice. I don't use it nearly as enough as I should, so probably gonna move this one up as well. And this one is a newer palette to me, and the shades in here, again, really pretty. I know it's not necessarily anything different from what I already have, but it is gorgeous, and I have created some really nice looks with it. So again, keeping this. Okay, Huda Beauty Warm Brown Obsessions. I forgot to pull this out when I was talking about the smoky palette. I could have done these at the same time, but I'm keeping this. Again, even though it's very similar to a lot of things that I have, it is newer, and I really like it, and I want to use it a lot more. Okay, this is the Pure Midnight Masquerade Face Palette. You also have eyeshadows in here. This is what it looks like. I think this blush got like blue in it or something. Or maybe not. I'm kind of confused. I've used this once. I've never used the eyeshadows in here because these are not eyeshadows that appeal to me. They are very dark. I don't use these type of shadows. And the face things in here are only so-so. So I'm passing this one along because I literally just won't use it ever. Okay, this is the Meet Matte Nude palette. I bought this palette like a year or so ago, because I wanted more of a cool tone palette and I thought it was really pretty and fun. But the quality is definitely so-so with this one. They are kind of dry shadows and they're kind of choppy and they're just not my favorite and I don't reach for it as much. So I'm going to give this one up as well because I held on to it for a long time, but now that I have a lot more palettes and I have a lot more of these shades, I don't need to hold on to it anymore. I'm also passing along the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. I've used this a total of probably like 3 times and I was very disappointed because everyone was like, this is such an amazing palette, and like everyone loves this palette. It's like one of everyone's holy grails. But I just don't like it. I don't like Wet n Wild shadows. I don't know what it is. They're just very like soft and like lackluster to me. I don't know. I don't know if they changed the formula on this or what. I know they have a new Comfort Zone out. This is the old one and I'm going to pass this along. Same thing with this little Pop Beauty trio. This is really old at this point. I don't even know if I should pass this along because it's probably almost bad. But I've had this for a long time and I just don't use it and I don't need it. So I'll pass it along, see if anybody wants it. If not, probably go in the trash. Okay, we have the City Mini palette. This is Shayla and Maybelline did this. Love this palette, really pretty, really cute, and I love supporting Shayla. I think she's a really amazing artist and just a really great person. So I'm going to be keeping this palette, even though it's not necessarily something special. I love this gold shade right here. It's really pretty, and it's just a really nice, like, compact type of palette. So keeping this. Okay, so my camera just died, so if anything is, like, shifted over or moved, I totally apologize. But next we have this Pixie by Petra Mesmerizing Mineral Duo in Orchid Ornament. And this shade is really pretty. I don't think I've ever used this. Oh my god, that's really pretty. But I don't know. I've never used it and it's tiny and I can probably get rid of it. Same thing with this Smashbox like Cover Shot Golden Hour Eyeshadow Duo. I think this is like a little sample of their Cover Shot palette. This is a really pretty like duochrome type of shade, but I have things like it. I don't need it. Okay, this is a blast from the past. This is the Peony Shadow Trio. Anyone who got Ipsy like circa 2015, 2016 probably remembers this guy because like everybody got this. But I think I had 2 of these and I don't need this one. As you can see, it's still in the package. So getting rid of that. Okay, this is the Beauty Crop little, what is this? Love You So Latte. That's cute. But I mean, I don't reach for things like this. I have palettes. I'm not going to like grab for this. So someone else will really enjoy that. This is one of the e.l.f. Best Friend Eye Duos, and this is in Pink Pal. This is really pretty. These shadows in here are very good quality. I like them, and they're super cheap as well. I have another one of these that has like a peachy shade in it, but I don't reach for this, and I have shades like this. So passing that along. My sisters will love that. This is a Deborah Milano palette, which had a sticker on it right here. I think my dad got this for me when he was in Italy or something like that. This is what it looks like. It's pretty. I've used it a couple times, but I don't know. These aren't really like shades that I'm necessarily going to reach for all the time. I'll pass this one along. I'm just not going to use it. Sorry, Dad. Oh my god, here's the BoxyCharm and Pure eyeshadow palette. I feel like this eyeshadow palette just has like bad juju, honestly, like bad mojo, because this was the trip where everything went down with Eden the doll and, oh my god, what's her name? Isabel Bedoya. Oh my god, this was that trip. If you guys watch drama channels at all, you will know about this trip. And then this palette was just a flop, and I feel like this just has bad juju. And honestly, the shadows in here are not that good. I used it once and I really liked it, and then I used it again and it was terrible. I haven't used it since, so pass this along. Here's one I am definitely passing along. This is the Glam Metals from Crown Beauty. Yeah, this I just don't use. It's full of shimmer shades, and they're okay shimmer shades. I mean, they're pretty. I've used it before, but honestly forgot I had it. So if I've forgotten I had it and I don't feel excited when I see it, I feel like that's a sign to pass it along. Same thing with this Real Her 1 eyeshadow palette, which looks like this. I think I might pass this along to one of my sisters or my mom or something, because these shades are very light. They're very easy to use. They're kind of just, I don't know. They're not me. I definitely am going for more pigmented, bright, poppy shadows. This is a definitely more muted, not my type of thing, but for someone else who's starting in makeup, or maybe my mom or something, they would really enjoy this. Okay, this is the Rimmel Magnifies Shadow. This is in the shade Keep Calm and Wear Gold. I got this from a dear friend of mine. She gave this to me for my birthday a couple years ago, and I did use it. However, I'm not a huge fan of the quality. It's all right. People really went crazy over these palettes, and I'm not really sure why, because they were only like, they weren't that good. So I'm going to pass this along to one of my sisters because they will absolutely love this. Definitely keeping my Milani Basic Mattes Everyday Eyes eyeshadow palette. This is like one of my go-tos whenever I'm doing like an all drugstore tutorial or anything like that, or even just when I want a nice basic matte palette for traveling or anything like that. I love this cream shade in here, and I actually want to pull this out and use this more because I had it in my top thing for a while and then I took it out, but I definitely want to put it back in there because I like it a lot. This is a Bella Pierre Cosmetics eyeshadow palette in Go Natural. I've had this for years as well, and I didn't really use it then, and I'm not really going to use it now. These are all shimmer shadows. Yeah. This is kind of old. Pass this along and see if it's bad. If it's bad, then I'll probably just ditch it. Oh my god, here's another one of those best friend duos. I didn't even know I had 3 of these. I thought I just had 2. Whoops. But yeah, I forgot about this. And this shade in here is really pretty, but I feel like I have similar shadows to this, and I'm not really going to just pull this out for this one shadow. So pass that along as well. Oh my god, you guys. Who remembers this palette? This Nika K New York eyeshadow palette? Quad, I guess you could say. I was obsessed with this palette. I love this so much. As you can see, like, there's dents in the shadows. I would bring this everywhere with me. I used it in tutorials. I just used it almost every single day. I loved it, but it's old now and I don't need this anymore, so definitely getting rid of that. This is the e.l.f. Aqua Beauty eyeshadow palette in Island Breeze. I got this when it first came out, and this was like when the like putty eyeshadows were like a big thing for the first time. And I was going to do a whole like dedicated video on this, and I never got around to it because the shadows are, I mean, they're pretty, but they were always just kind of weird. I don't know. I just don't reach for it, and I don't think I'm going to in the future, so passing this along as well. All right, this palette, the Balm La Bamba palette, volume 2. This isn't even sold anymore. This was a little quad. I got this for my birthday from someone who is no longer in my life, but at the time I wanted to keep this for a long time because they were in my life, and they are no longer in my life, so I feel comfortable getting rid of it. Also the fact that this is discontinued, and I got this in like 2015, so it was quite a while ago. Okay, this is a Bella Pierre Astrid Shimmer Collection 9 stack. I do use this for like, you know, creative looks. I've had this for a long time. They're just like a bunch of pigments, and I do use this when I want a little bit of like extra sparkle or something in my look or something like that. I mean, there's some fun pigments in here that like I don't own. So I'm definitely going to keep this because I do grab for it every once in a while. This is the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette. Oh my god, this was like probably the most disappointing palette I've ever used. I bought this when I was in New York City, and I was just really excited to buy something at New York City Sephora, but these shadows in here are not good. This palette was a real flop. I tried forever to make a look with this palette so I could do a dedicated video on it, and just nothing I did looked good. So it's really hard because I love the packaging and it has like memories attached to it, but I feel like I finally am ready to let this go because I just don't use it. It's taking up space. All right, we have the Pure Soiree Diaries. I love this palette. I definitely want to use it more. The shimmers in here are gorgeous, and the mattes in here on point. Love them. So pretty. Keeping this one. This is actually a really good Pure palette. Pure palettes aren't always so good, but that one is really good. Also keeping this LA Girl Eye Luxe quad. This is in the shade Urban Eyes. I love these. They're so nice for traveling, and they're so compact and little and awesome. Love, love, love them. So definitely check these out if you have not, but keeping this. Oh my god, this is the Lorac Gold palette. I literally used to have dreams about this palette, specifically for the shade Unleashed, because this at the time was the most pigmented shadow I'd ever seen in my entire life. And I mean, it's still a pretty crazy pigmented shadow. And then one of my friends bought this for my birthday and I like literally cried. It was for my 16th birthday actually. These two shades right here are so similar, and the rest of the shimmers are only so-so. Like this is like the only good shimmer, which is weird, but I just can't. I like 16-year-old self would have killed me for getting rid of this. Killed me. And I mean, oh, it's so pretty. Fine, I'll keep it. One more year. Okay, we have these two Tarte palettes, and oh my god, I got these in BoxyCharm. This is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea, volume 3, and I think this is volume 2. Yes, this one's volume 2. So this is volume 3. I got this recently. These shimmers in here are really, really pretty, but I don't use it. This one has some mattes in it, which are really nice. This is actually a pretty palette, but it just kind of like irritates me because they're like almost like thick putty like shadows and they just blend funky. I don't know. I love them because they're pretty. I love the packaging. I'm going to keep this one right here, the volume 3 with all the shimmers, and then get rid of volume 2 because I've used it a lot and I don't love it. I don't want to reach for it, and I feel comfortable passing it along. Ah, we did it. We got through the entire drawer, you guys. Look at this. There's hair and dust and all sorts of stuff in it, but we got through it. So now I'm going to show you. So this right here is the pile of things that I am giving away. Very proud of myself. And this right here is the pile of palettes that I am keeping. Sorry for the awkward angles and weird stuff, but yeah, this is the stuff that I'm keeping. So it looks like a lot, but it's less, and I feel much happier looking at this pile now. So yay!
So that is it for this video, you guys. I hope you guys like it. Please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below if you liked this video. And yeah, I will see you in my next one. Mwah!